All right, everyone, it is garden update time. We have some good shit going on here. We see some garlic. I have not edged yet, so unfortunate, but you know, I get lazy sometimes. Smells awful good. I got a speedwell plant. I've seen this listed in a number of herbals actually from the 19th century, so I decided to get one of them just to plug in this little area where there's none of the Swiss chard growing. I mostly weeded that out. We've got some problems with the beets this year. Like that one right there looks diseased. I'm not exactly sure what's wrong with it. We'll get a few, but it's not going to be the best of pickling beet seasons. Peppers, meanwhile, plenty of those. Peppers and basil and everything else good under the sun. The Romas are doing really, really well. Look at that. They're doing better than anticipated. So is the cotton actually now. We actually probably will get some legit cotton, maybe make a pillow or something, and plenty of okra. That'll be yummy. The carrots are small, but I can finally show them off. You can see some carrots in that row. Gotta pick through some of these little things in there. And of course, cucumbers, cantaloupe, more squash, more peppers, pretty much everything that you could want. The pea plants, they'll climb up on that trellis. This is a little bit jury-rigged. They ran out of trellising, actually. I wanted to get 5 of these, but they only had 3. So I had to reinforce them with stakes and then use some twine. It'll be fine, though. Things will still climb on it. All this lettuce. Yes, tonight we're having hamburgers. Guess what the side salad's going to be? Ta-da! You're looking at it, basically. Broccoli, and more peppers, of course, all doing splendidly. Yeah, that broccoli there, look at this one. Yeah, that little guy there, or gal, or it, hermaphrodite. Mustard plants, I like those. You can put a few leaves in the garden salad, and they taste good. These beets are doing better than the other ones. I'm not 100% sure why. Got our cantaloupe, that's doing fine. Pumpkin, winter squash, zucchini. That needs a little bit more nitrogen, I think, quite clearly. Another pumpkin over there. I'm going to nitrogenate all these guys, actually, in a few minutes. Lots and lots of collards. These guys definitely don't have any problems. Yeah, 4 rows of collards. Again, I'll harvest some of them before they're fully mature and, halve them, and then the rest will grow big. I didn't bother watering the central garden here. Everything here is mainly perennial. It's doing fine. Those okra, they're not going to produce anything. They are alive, but at the same time, it doesn't really matter. I think the pak choi sort of takes the award for best bed of the year. That is a lot of stir-fry and training. Every other plant will be just harvested directly and pulled out, and then the other plants, you pick them down. I hilled some potatoes. Well, first you see the onions. They're doing well. I hilled the potatoes, mostly. I've still got to get more soil up in there. I've got 4 more bags, 1 for each row, just sort of complete the look. But I'm going to need more than that because I have to make them, fairly wide because, the potatoes can be out almost a foot from the plant. What I'm hoping to do is have a shit ton of potatoes. They do look good, though. I alternated rows. What I did was I put down a layer of organic, fertile soil, just a regular garden soil. Then a layer of topsoil, also organic, and then another layer of the garden substrate. I'll be able to put in 2 more layers and fill them in pretty well. And what that'll do is it'll force them to produce another layer of potatoes, and it'll protect the lower layer from the sun to keep them from effectively getting scalded. Corn and beans. Some of the new corn and beans that I put in the empty spots are coming up. I do realize there are quite a few weeds in here, but this is fairly easy to keep weeded down. I'll go through it again before I go to Europe. And we got our squash in the middle. Those are starting to vine out. They'll be doing fine. So yeah, everything's growing extremely well. Much, much better than in previous gardens that I've grown. I mean, just look at that. It looks amazing. I like the contrast of light greens and really dark, soily colors as well. I just find it aesthetically pleasing. Thank God, look at the cherry tomatoes over here. That's a lot of cherry tomatoes, dude. And you know, they'll produce, you know, dozens and dozens of stems loaded with tomatoes. You try going to the store and get that many tomatoes and see how much it costs you. By the way, these little solar-powered mole repellers, they do seem to work. The 4 that I've got in here seem to canvas pretty much the entire garden. I haven't seen any mole damage. The damage that you have seen, like here, that's from, I think, a fox, actually, probably hunting the moles. Good on him. Or her, you know, that's perfectly fine. You want to go and munch on them. You know, my karma is not reduced. Let's go to the herb bed. My favorite bed. Look at that. An assortment. Imagine how many soups you can make with this stuff. The dilly smell, really, really, really strong. I'm going to be harvesting some of the greens and then also dill seeds for pickling mainly and stuff like that. Got sage and oregano, basil, everything you need for a good soup. You know, rosemary, stuff for potatoes. Really great. Wonderful garden this year. And you can see all of the white blossoms off in the distance there. Those are all blackberries, actually. Millions of them. They extend up into the woods halfway up to the dam, and nobody else really picks them, so I don't know. I think I'll liquefy some of them and freeze them into a block and have literally like a 5-gallon brick of blackberry juice or something like that in the freezer. Delicious. That's about all. Peace out.